Hi, how are you?
Why are we echoing? What is that?
That's on me, Allison.
There's so
No, it was actually my fault. My laptop was on because I actually brought my
Oh.
laptop.
Look at you with your laptop today. Hey, Bobby Holditch, look, dark chocolate. Dark chocolate, my friend. Though I did get the youngin'.
What's a
Some
youngin?
Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oh,
Because we couldn't eat
You
our
got the
dark
baby?
chocolate, but I got the baby some Reese's peanut butter cups. And I just, Bobby.
you got him 48 of them.
Yeah, well, if we, yeah.
So
I'm
the
gonna keep-
old women get dark chocolate with almonds and sea salt
And
to
don't
help
forget-
our electrolytes.
Yes, and regenerate our cells or whatever he was saying.
Mitochondria.
And also we have chocolate chips in there too.
Okay, I'm all about it.
So
We filmed a
Anyway.
podcast yesterday with someone that you all are going to love and got lots of longevity, working outing, how to make the most of your life and be able to get off the floor when you have grandkids advice. And y'all are going to want to tune into that. I don't know when we're going to put it out. We'll see.
maybe like a week, I don't know, whenever his launch is, but it's my childhood friend Bobby Holditch from Phoenix Nutrition and Fitness, and he's incredible. His story, grab your box of tissues. It's fair.
Yeah.
Grab your box of tissues. But we're excited about that, and we'll talk to him again. He's gonna help me, and I need a lot of help. So I'm gonna go work out this afternoon, though. When he just gave me a beginning, here's what you can do until I send you your whole stuff.
Well, Chris said yesterday he had a problem area. And so, Bobby, if you're watching, like, can this be an area or is that too much? Chris is like, I got a bad hip. I'm like, I got a bad everything.
I am the bad area.
I am the bad surface area. So let's work that out.
He's incredible, and thank y'all, because I know you had to trust me to let him come in, but I think we'll have him back to launch the pod, and we'll keep track of all the workouts he's going to do for all of us, maybe even family members that don't know it yet. But hi, we're the Right Side. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. We're covering a lot today. It's Thursday. So in the second hour, we are going to talk to Mary Crosby, and you are going to want to tune in. She's been known to stir it up with the AEA. What is the AEA, you ask? Well, you're going to have to tune in and find out. But she's doing really good things. We have the plunge on a subject we haven't covered yet, not in a long while.
What is it?
Fatherlessness. I found a clip from a guy on Heritage Foundation. And fatherlessness
Let's just all get
affects
canceled.
everybody. I think 1 out of 3 kids are without a father. So this is affecting our entire culture.
Wait, I have one. I just didn't grow up in a house with one. Does that count?
Yeah, it actually does, because their criteria is fathers in the home.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
plenty of the kids will be talking about, based on stats, based on the Heritage Foundation clip, is fathers that are not in the home, whether they're deceased, whether they never knew them, whether they knew them and they were gone.
So
Fair.
I'm a statistic.
You're a stat, Allison Sinclair.
I mean, my parents divorced when I was 3, so that counts.
Yeah, I mean, when you get left, you get left, and that is going to have a leave a footprint in your life. And so we're going to talk about
daddy issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a song about that. Is there?
I don't know. We should write one if there's not.
Let's write a song. Actually, after we finish this conversation, we will. So we have the word of the day. We'll have the montage. We have conversation. And then, like we said, thanks, Bobby, we have dark chocolate. But I would like to tell you that I went back and I showed Chris Shaver our new redneck voices, our sling blade Southern voices.
I don't know if it can come out again. I don't know what happened. It's like we were overtaken.
Y'all had to come apart.
Did we have a come apart?
Yes.
I felt like
Twice.
it was a sling blade Southern.
Yeah, I mean, where's Mildred?
I know, Mildred.
Is
I feel you.
Oh,
Well, wait, I called you
as
Pearl.
Pearl.
It's Pearl, and it just came out of her mouth.
It's
and
like you gotta do
such.
your lips kind of sideways.
You do.
I'm not
and,
gonna try one because I'm stuffed up.
Okay, well, listen, your other name
It
is
may make it come out
Hiram.
better. I don't know.
Is Hiram when we're like this, and so it's Hiram and Mildred and it's Pearl and
I think Mildred and Pearl and Hiram, I think they all dip the snuff.
they do
It's like right here.
I got
kinda how you talk.
my dip cup right here.
Yeah, you better go ahead and get rid of them waters, and so you can dip. So you don't know when the voices are going to come out, and we got the dip cup for him, and we got oil and
We got a spittoon.
a spittoon.
Isn't that what it's called?
It's called a spittoon. Yeah.
Next break, can y'all go give me some more Copenhagen?
Yeah. I'll get you some Copenhagen. I'll get
Reminds me
you
of high
the
school.
winter mint kind.
Kind of makes you throw up real fast.
Yeah.
I just get the whole can.
Just all right in there. Mm-hmm. So
I tried it once.
did you really?
No, I did.
I tried
I mean, I
smoking
grew up in
once.
East Tennessee.
Was it delicious?
No, it was.
I've never tried dip. I have tried the Zins before, and it makes me sick, like sick. So the only nicotine I can do is like cigars.
Really?
I really like cigars.
I bet you like cigars.
It just fills your mouth with bleh.
I know, but I think it's when the nicotine gets in your throat that makes me like want to throw up.
Yeah. Chris likes a pipe.
Yeah.
But not often. He used to really be into cigars. And then he taught me when we were first dating 29 years ago. I'm sorry, Mom, how to smoke. And I smoked one time and I was like, if I didn't see pictures of charred lungs on my dad's desk growing up, I would smoke.
Wait, I thought you said you didn't like it.
No, I loved it.
Oh, see, I've never smoked a cigarette.
It is
ever.
fun.
I haven't done a cigarette.
It's fun. But it is very bad for you. And so I chose in that moment to divorce myself from
That's
that
a
option.
good choice.
Yeah.
'Cause I have grown friends' moms that hide cigarettes in the freezer. Like, especially when
Just
the kids
every
were
once
young.
in a while.
Yeah. And I can see, there's that potential. And then all of a sudden they come out of the freezer. And then before you know it, there's a pack in your back pocket.
Yeah.
It's a slippery slope.
You know, my grandmother was hypnotized to stop smoking.
Did it work?
It did. She stopped smoking, but they're like anytime she would talk about it, my grandfather would be like, "That's just such crap." It worked. She never did it again. But she was like hypnotized. She explained to me one time what the hypnotism was. I can't remember though.
Is this Granny Ram?
No. This is my other grandmother. She died 10 years ago. But yeah,
Aw.
she was hypnotized to quit.
That was a big thing for a while.
I ship it.
I absolutely ship it. I mean, sometimes I bet my husband wishes I could be hypnotized because I'm not fun to fight with. So,
JP, I forgot to send you the personality test.
Yeah, you did.
Dang
Actually, this
it.
morning I thought about
I'm
that.
going to do it right now.
is awesome.
Speaking of not fun to fight with.
ENFJ or ENTP. I'm going to find my results because I think we still have them because my husband was very organized. Also, I'd like to say, though, the older you get, there's really less to fight about and it's not fun. So I'm not saying we do. But
I'm not a very good fighter.
You're not a good fider?
No.
That's so not true.
No. I enjoy fighting. I mean, hold on. Hold up. Let me clarify.
Tell us.
I enjoy a good fight. Actually, I'm a debater.
Oh, I'm a debater too. It's a surprise. Really? Oh, I'm such a debater.
On the 16 personalities, you're a debater?
Oh, no. Oh, yes, I am.
Oh.
But well, it depends on what that means. But I'm a debater with my husband when we are in a disagreement.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
you're a debater with your husband or just not a good fighter?
No. In this testing thing, I am a
Yes.
debater, which means I'm not a good fighter because I'm too insensitive.
I think.
Oh, so you're not a good fighter as if it goes too far.
Yeah, like I can't
You're not
balance
fun to fight with.
myself. Yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I can't catch myself, and then people, then you end up not liking me.
I
That's
have
true.
had to work on the same thing. Funny, sister from another mister. Years ago, the good sir said, remind people never to get in a fight with you because you're impossible. And then right there in the middle of the TJ Maxx 10 years ago, I was like, I think I'll need to do better on this. So I made a choice. So I feel the same way. My kids would say that they each probably have a memory of me taking it too far. And I'm like, that's no good.
What are you? What's your number? What's your letters?
I'm either an ENFP or an ENTJ.
Okay, I'm an ENTP. ENF.
And Chris is an ENTP.
That's why we're besties.
Simpatico.
ENFJ protagonist.
So ENF, yeah.
Oh, no. Anyway, ENFP campaigner.
Yeah, that's me.
Enthusiastic, creative, and sociable free spirits who can always find a reason to smile. Even if it's fake smile. Okay.
ENFJ.
ENFJ.
Hold on, I'm going to find it.
How long is the test?
It's
not
not
protagonist.
long.
Yeah. So you're a diplomat.
That's it.
You're
That's the one.
You're under
the J was at the end.
Yeah.
He is an ENTP. I'm an ENFJ.
How long is this? Is it something I could like take in the break?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Emmy says, send me the test. I'll send you the test,
Okay,
baby.
hold on. I just sent it
Hey,
in
little girls.
Treehouse Gang.
Okay. All right.
Y'all can go to 16personalities.com and take this test. You should text us in what you are so we can know if we can be friends. No, we can be friends with everybody. We know how to take your texts.
Yes.
If you're being sarcastic, if you're being passive aggressive.
Yeah. Like we're
just having a
quite
bad
the
day.
duo. We're quite the duo because basically, as y'all have heard me say many times before, that's a Chris Shaver answer because they are very similar.
So you're extroverted, you're a feeling person, you're intuitive, and you're judging.
Mm-hmm. Is that fair? Diplomat to the core.
When the whole world is silent, even one voice becomes powerful. That's your quote. Wow. That's why she's Miss Alabama.
What's your quote? It's awesome.
Let me go back and see.
Say it,
There's
Pearl.
probably like nobody wants to hang out with this girl.
Tell the people.
So I'm extroverted, intuitive, thinking, and prospecting. So our last two are different. I don't have a quote.
Yes, you do.
Well, the introduction says quick-witted and audacious. People with the ENTP personality type aren't afraid to disagree with the status quo. In fact, they're not afraid to disagree with pretty much anything or anyone.
True.
Few things light up these personalities more than a bit of verbal sparring.
Oh, yeah. That is so true.
And if the conversation veers into controversial terrain, so much the better.
Look at that.
People with this personality type are knowledgeable and curious with a playful sense of humor, and they can be incredibly entertaining. They simply have an offbeat, contrarian idea of fun.
Allison.
Okay. So I'm just weird. I'm fun, but weird and aggressive. Aggressively helpful. JP, you're going to take it during the break.
Okay.
I can't wait.
It'll be fun.
I wonder if Charlie agrees with these assessments. Ask Charles.
I'm sure he would, but I do. That tracks for both of y'all.
That's so fun. Oh, yeah, I love that thing. All right, Emmy. Hey, Emmy, tell us what it says, by the way. And do you think that is accurate for Allison and me and also similariit? Yeah.
I'm going to go back and read a little more about yours since we're actually doing this. Hold
Okay,
on.
read about it, Pearl.
People with the ENFJ personality type feel called to serve a greater purpose in life. Thoughtful and idealistic ENFJs strive to have a positive impact on other people around them in the world. These personalities rarely shy away from an opportunity to do the right thing, even when doing so is far from easy. Born leaders, which explains why these personalities can be found among the notable politicians, coaches, and teachers. Their passion and charisma Allow them to inspire others, not just in their careers, but in every arena of life. Few things bring people with an ENFJ personality type to a deeper sense of joy and fulfillment than guiding friends and loved ones to grow into their best selves. So
I don't know if my dogs would agree with that.
Let's see. Strengths and weaknesses of abs.
I got a lot of weaknesses. I got way more weaknesses. Unrealistic.
It says you might be unrealistic,
True.
overly idealistic,
Also true.
condescending,
Yep.
intense,
Yes,
and overly empathetic.
I can be. I've learned not to be.
You've had to not be.
I've had to learn not to be this, because marriage will teach you real quick not to be.
Yeah.
It's
humbling.
It's very
That
humbling.
marriage thing.
Yeah. And learning how to speak with respect.
And kids.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think that's the thing is you look through this and you're like, that's my natural bent, but you should fight it.
Mm-hmm.
Some days fight it better than others.
And then you see what the Lord has corrected in you, and you're like, oh, I used to be such a handful. And I still am. But do you know, like, is this you?
No, this is you.
Well,
These
I
are
wanna
your
know about you.
strengths. Oh, you want me to go? Okay.
Yeah, go
I
to
can
you.
Go to my.
Everybody, seriously, take the personality test with us. And
You want me to give you my
tell me.
weaknesses?
Well, give me your strengths.
Knowledgeable.
Yep.
Quick thinkers.
Yep.
Original.
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent brainstormers.
This is very true.
Charismatic.
Yes.
Energetic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now to the fun part.
Okay.
The weaknesses. Very argumentative. Not just argumentative, but very.
Yeah.
Insensitive. Yep. Intolerant. I'm not intolerant. In fact, I'm probably too tolerant. Like I can handle people. I'm not intimidated by other people with different ideas.
No. Look, this is not sacrosanct. This is just a guide.
Like if you, I'm going to tell you what I think, but if you say, I don't want to do that, I'm going to be like, okay, fine. Can find it difficult to focus. Remember when Charlie told me I was ADHD?
Yes.
I'd never heard that. And I dislike practical matters. Preference for spontaneity and novelty. Often struggle with organization, structure, and all things practical.
Only a guide.
So I'm a mess.
No, you're not a mess. Let's see
Anyway.
if Emmy answered me.
It takes about 5 minutes. Anyway.
Okay.
I'm doing it right now while you're
You
talking.
doing it right now?
So we'll
All
keep
right.
talking.
All right.
But we got to get to the word of the day.
Sweet.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Hold on. I'm ready.
So I'll finish the rest of it.
Oh,
in the break.
don't look, Allison. Don't look. Okay. Ready for the word of the day.
Not looking. Touching you.
3, 2, 1.
Not looking. Eyes still closed.
All right. This is going to be funnier if I say it like this.
How you got
All right,
your skull and your skull.
Yeah, I got my skull. I got my lady dip in. And all right.
Okay.
So in my day, when we said this about somebody, it kind of meant that they were a little bit yellow. And I
Yellow.
don't mean yellow when it comes to being a coward. I mean yellow because their skin was yellow. And there's a word.
Jaundice.
Yes. Yes, alert. Jaundice means showing or influenced by feelings of distrust, distaste, or hostility.
I didn't know it had a separate meaning besides you had too much bilirubin.
Well, and I had a kid who had too much bilirubin.
Hmm.
Someone described as jaundiced or as possessing jaundiced opinions or views is typically understood to feel that way because of negative past experiences. We are jaundiced toward elections.
Because they mean nothing.
Thank you. That
Got it.
How about that?
Got it.
Mhm.
10-4.
by the way, I talked to one of my dear friends last night, and they work at a poll in a blue city in Alabama.
Okay.
All right. And they're so
Like a
involved.
poll.
They've worked at a poll. They are poll workers, not observers. They work there during election day. And they said the Democrats are so fired up that it was scary. And they knew that we only had 11% turnout. And their word was tell everybody, I'm just using this word today, don't get jaundiced about the August 11th election or
shoot.
the November election, because they assured me, word to the wise, the Democrats are fired up and they think they see an opportunity.
I forgot about the August 11th election, which really could not go well if people don't remember and get out and vote and get your absentee ballot because you're going to be at the beach. One last trip out of town before the kids go back to school. We need to maybe talk about it every single day.
Every day. I told this person that we would talk about it, and she said, please. It's a follower of our show, catches our reels,
Hi.
Very involved, wise person.
Scary.
And a mentor to me. And I was like, ooh, if you're saying this is not good.
And, you think about it from not only August 11th, but November, as people get more and more disillusioned. I hope we're going to talk today about what happened in Washington, D.C. yesterday.
We are.
It was a
bloodbath.
Well, it was kind of entertaining. I mean, again, it is middle school on Capitol Hill, but it has really big implications. So we need to talk about that. But the more these things happen, the more people are like, why am I even, why do I even care?
Yeah.
Because when we talk about the housing bill and these Republicans that are pushing it, you're like, why does it even matter? Because it's all the same.
It is. Well, it is. I got the breakdown of it and I didn't have it yesterday. I had it this morning and I'm like, what do we do?
It's not good.
So I know we have to get the Gen Z word of the day, but that's why we exist. We see a problem in culture. People are not involved. We want you to be involved. And we want to think through why we're going to be involved and then go do it. Because if we don't do this, then it really will fall apart.
Yeah.
So we've got to get out there.
Yep. You're right.
So anyway, lots of good discussions coming up today. And would love to hear your thoughts and opinions, starting with your personality test. My daughter just sent me hers.
I already got my results.
Sweet. Okay. Do the word of the day and then tell us your personality.
Okay. Where'd it go? Okay. This is 3 words. It's a Gen Z phrase. When someone delivers any task above and beyond expectations, they are said to have blank.
Killed.
Blank.
It's 3 words.
Blank the blank.
Crushed it.
Wow, she really blank with such last
Ate
minute.
that up.
No, we've said
cooked
this.
That up.
We've said this. Y'all have said this word or these words several times.
We have.
Yeah, when talking about political.
Can you
topics.
give me a
really...
starting letter?
First letter is U.
U.
Mm-hmm.
She really
shanked it.
No. That doesn't start with you.
That's a golf term.
And that's only 2 words. Why are you black and white, JP? Does he look black and white?
Maybe it's because he's sick.
I'm not.
You look very jaundiced.
Because you do. You've got good color. We're looking at you, but you're kind of like.
Does he not look black and white?
Great. You're kind of like a movie filters on your camera.
I'm sure the
Wi-Fi is great today, by the way.
I don't know. Maybe it's just coming across on the
okay. It's fine.
So you.
What's
the next letter? No. What's the next letter?
You.
And the first word?
Yeah.
N.
You.
Underserved.
You understood the assignment.
Yes.
Yeah. That's okay. Yeah, we do say that.
Understood the assignment.
How come we didn't?
Also, you just got your hair did, didn't you?
Well, no.
Last week, didn't you?
I did, but I washed it and dried it last night.
Yesterday, Chris was like, "I like your hair," and I'm like, "Oh, it's clean."
Thing.
Yeah, and a whole thing. Like you feel like a new person.
How often do you wash your hair?
Just try to as little as possible. And then when my husband says he likes it, I'm like, I should probably wash my hair more. but it looks great.
Okay, thank you.
No, seriously, it looks great.
Understood the assignment.
She understood the assignment. JP,
Mm-hmm.
Emmys is INTPA.
I want y'all to guess mine. before
I
say
don't
it.
know.
You're gonna be I. You're an I. You're an E.
There's no way.
You are an E.
There's no
You're
way.
a thinker. So E. What's the N or what? It could be an N or it can be an F. What's the second letter? There's two options.
N.
You're an ENTJ.
Nope.
He is a.
Did I just try to make you what mine was?
Maybe.
ENFJ?
Yes.
Oh,
No.
wait.
ENFP.
Yes.
Okay. ENFP.
That's what. He's a campaigner.
I'm a
Yeah.
campaigner.
Oh, we are the same.
Were you a campaigner too?
I'm yes.
No, wait. You said you were.
No, I'm the diplomat. Not a
you said
campaigner.
you said you were an ENFJ.
Allison, what was yours?
Whatever
again?
the diplomat is, that's mine. That's the way I
so
remember.
You're not
it.
you
read it out.
protagonist.
You read it out loud. It's the politician one.
Okay, so diplomats are all green. So there's several underneath diplomat. So are you a protagonist or a campaigner?
I think I'm this is the one, ENFJ.
All right.
One. That's it. Oh, hold on. I'm writing it on my hand. Sorry. That guy. Because that's the one that has the, whoever's got the politicians in it, that's me. And the idealistic.
Well, that's what I read.
Intense.
I read protagonist
that's
for
it.
you.
That's
Did you unlock the full results or no? Okay, no, I see the strengths and weaknesses now.
Yeah.
So
okay, this makes sense.
JP,
Okay.
Yes.
you're curious,
Yes.
perceptive.
Oh, wow.
He doesn't miss a thing. Enthusiastic. Excellent communicator, easygoing, good-natured, and positive. Okay, weaknesses: people-pleasing, unfocused, disorganized,
That's not true.
overly accommodating, overly optimistic, and restless. I don't really see any of those.
Are you restless? You
don't
are
see any of
restless.
the weaknesses. Well, I used to be a big people pleaser, not very much anymore. I am very much disorganized. I'm very, 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 very much disorganized.
But you're OCD and type A.
So it's funny. The OCD, I actually had this explained to me. My OCD is purely mental. So I obsess and procrastinate. So it's like has the reverse effect. I don't do the things around me because I procrastinate.
So you get stuck in your head.
So I'm not a
don't-
physical OCD person. I'm a mental OCD.
Can
Okay.
you? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Unfocused. You can focus.
I'm very focused.
And on that, we probably should take a break.
Yeah. What did we do with the break?
We got like 45 seconds for the break.
Well,
Okay.
it's interesting. I'm not sure what to do with it. Most personality tests tell you who not to hang out with or who you should marry. I didn't see that. I wonder if it would be like, you three need to separate.
No.
Or
No, because
something.
the test that we took with my dad, he said that we all he understood why we all clicked so well.
Yeah, we go together. This is why I like the personality test though,
We
because
go
it just shows you
together.
what you already see and you're like, But again, it's a guide. So everything's not going to match up, but I still love personality tests.
Yeah.
Especially this one. This is the one that's rung the most true over the years. Our pre-marriage counselor made us take them. That was the first time I took.
16personalities.com.
Yeah. Take it.
Take it. We'll be back with the montage and more news.
Now.
Do we want to go ahead and talk about the mosque in Birmingham and that whole story?
You read my mind. You read my mind. So we started the show and there was an article that Allison shared on our thread. And it was about the mosque in Birmingham and what it's related to. And this is the part I told you we'd get to it at 11:30. We're doing hot flash news then. We're doing this now. So fill us in. You may know, we can collab, but this is one of those things, guys, we're going to have to go to the map for. This is what we've been doing our homework about. But what's going on in the article Allison's about to share is something you need to tell everybody about. This is not just an innocent group of people and, oh, shucks, we're here. This is way more than that. And yes, then it also relates on a macro level to the church and to this idea that we need to love the stranger. But who is the stranger and what do we mean by that? And what is our responsibility when we have thousands of years of history between Christians and Muslims? And we have thousands of years of evidence of what happens between those two groups of people. And it's never good for the Christians. It results in slaughter every single time. So, Allison, tell us about the article that somebody sent you.
Well, while I'm doing this, JP, can you pull up, see if you can find some video or some pictures of Iran before the Islamic Revolution? Video would be great. But I think everybody needs a visual of what the difference will be in America. You're watching it happen in England, and it happened in Iran years ago during the revolution, and it is headed our way, and it is purposeful. And that's the thing where it's real easy to say, let's be kind. They can live here as long as they, no. Yesterday on X, I was tagged in a post that actually Tommy Tuberville was tagged in too. And I think he will possibly be talking about this soon because it's one of his platforms and something he's been really passionate about. I think besides him, Tommy Tuberville, Rightside, and 1819 News are the only people that are really talking about this issue. We've been talking about it for years, and actually kind of taken a lot of heat for it. Mm-hmm. But in the montage, the clip that JP played of Governor Abbott in Texas talking about this, what do they call it now? It was Epic City. Now they call it Meadowbrook or something. Basically, the Islamists are setting up their own city, their own government, their own rules, their own laws right in the heart of Texas. Now, what's weird is that Governor Abbott is saying they didn't get building permits. They have their own justice system. They have all these things. He's naming them all, and he's doing absolutely nothing about it. Go bulldoze down the houses. What we're doing is making it so hospitable for them. Everybody is so scared to stand up for what is right in the law. And if you want to make it, I mean, you wouldn't allow any other community group to go do that, to not get building permits. Think about if you wanted to build on an addition to your house.
Oh my gosh.
They would come and shut you down so fast if you didn't have the right permitting. So we're letting them get away with this. What's scary is that Amy Meck,
I've got some video of pre-Iran revolution, by the way, whenever you want to get to it.
Oh, yes.
Okay, go ahead and play that.
Here, let me...
Iran, a country brimming with energy, exploding with construction and development, a dynamic state with a thriving capital.
We're wearing shorts. Just go.
Iran today. Women even playing soccer. Symbol of a radical revolution against deep-rooted taboos, habits, prejudices. Iran, a unique endeavor.
That's probably enough. The point is, it looks very much like America in the 70s. They're water skiing. They're in bikinis. They're smoking cigarettes. They're on motorcycles. They're running around town. They're discoing. They're playing soccer. Wake up, people. Look at them now. It is terrifying. And this is what's happening. Amy Meck says that this is a post. Sharia over Alabama law. Birmingham's largest mosque has bound itself to Islamic law and the Muslim Brotherhood Network. So the Birmingham Islamic Society, one of Alabama's biggest and most influential mosques, they adopted in their own constitution. This is what it says. Any activity contrary to or in conflict with the Quran and the Sunnah shall not be permitted. The principle of shura shall be the governing principle. Every decision, membership rule.
Welcome back to the Right Side. I am Amy Beth with Allison and JP. We are going to yammer. And then, JP, you ready?
Hold on.
I know that was too fast.
Okay, there we go.
I'm sorry. It's time for
Yammer.
what you got.
First, I think this is interesting. It's very rare we see Katie Britt and Tuberville really split on anything, and we're going to talk more about this housing bill later on in the show. After it's in the montage, but Katie Britt and Tommy Tuberville, they split on their votes for this housing affordability bill. Says President Donald Trump abruptly canceled a Wednesday ceremony to sign the most sweeping housing bill in a generation, and that Tuberville and Britt split on it. And there's a video in the montage of Tuberville explaining why. But this is Katie Britt. Today, I was thrilled to join my Senate colleagues in taking a critical step to empower more Alabamians and Americans with the opportunity to own a home as we overwhelmingly pass the most comprehensive housing policy bill.
It is a big deal, and I know we're going to talk about it. I looked at the particulars.
Yeah, it's not good.
No, it's not. So it'll be interesting to see what y'all think about that. What you got?
The Supreme Court, this just happened an hour. I think they put out 3 rulings today, but they ruled that Roundup, Bayer, the manufacturer of Roundup, cannot be held liable for all of the cancers. And
What?
yes, it says the Supreme Court made it impossible for people who develop cancer after using Roundup to sue Bayer for failing to warn them about the potential cancer risk. The Trump administration urged and pleaded the court to reach this result to protect a foreign chemical company, and it did it at the expense of Americans. What happened to America first? That is huge. A huge. The Supreme Court basically said you do not have to warn your consumers, your buyers, about potential hazards. Good luck.
This is kind of like Big Pharma and their ability to inject and not be held responsible. Great.
Yep.
I see where we fit in the pecking order. It's at the bottom.
And they're saying that Trump wanted that result to protect his donors, investors, big ag.
Matters not to them until one of them is affected by the Roundup. But they don't actually kill their own weeds, so they wouldn't know.
They've probably known for years not to use Roundup.
Well, did you see the
Don't
Mark
let their
Ruffalo
families-
movie about that? It is awful.
I didn't.
It's a couple years old.
Oh,
It's really good. Go watch it.
I remember what you're talking about.
I'll find the
Okay.
name of it, but it's worth a watch.
Yep.
Okay. Governor Kay Ivey announced Wednesday that Alabama is going to add 64 new first class pre-K classrooms in the 26-27 school year, expanding access across the state to the state's nationally recognized early childhood ed programs for families across the state of Alabama. And the old me would say, oh, how sweet. The new me's like, well, that's 64 new opportunities for little children to be guinea pigs in the SEL, CRT, DEI, because we know it all is still happening. And so they're just starting earlier to indoctrinate the children.
Yep.
So I can't get excited about that. I think it's actually terrible. Parents, keep your kids home longer. I know many of you work outside the home, and we appreciate that. But please, handing your children over to Caesar at age 4 or 5, no. Not a great story.
100% against this. 100%.
Like
Waste
I'm
of
getting angry just
taxpayer
thinking about it.
money. Yeah. It's just 4 years old. have your kids at home, have them with grandma, have them with a cute little lady at the church, special, Mother's Day out program. Don't hand them over to the government. Just don't. And that's all this is. They want your kids earlier.
That's actually that's what I grew up with. I went to the preschool at the local church, and I had this lady. Her name was Miss Clary. She actually passed away like 2 weeks ago, but I loved Miss Clary. That was like the one I went to every day. And I can't imagine going to like a government run, because there's not gonna be any warmth or anything like that involved in.
You get no Bible stories. Like, I realized the way I grew up was special. I mean, I got to go to Christian school the whole way through. I was drenched in the Word of God, but there was nothing sweeter than your little pre-K teacher huddling up for story time at age 4, and it's a flannel board about Jonah. These kids are going to be hearing about their feelings, and they're certainly not going to read early, and they're not going to do much of anything but whatever the government tells them to do to create, because this is all about creating better workers and not better thinkers. If we were committed to learning how to think, we would all feel differently. But this is not what this is about. I think this is awful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not the flex. That's a good word.
That's
not
a
the
really good
flex.
They did not understand the assignment.
Well, they did.
Not the correct assignment.
From the communists, from the Democrats.
I'm sick.
Quite jaundiced of them.
We are jaundiced.
I'm changing your light.
It's not. What?
It's got to be. It's something with the light.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why?
It's got to be something.
You
with
know
the
that
light.
kind of blue screen on the like movies that are like the 300 movie or the.
Yeah. Everything looks gray.
Yeah. It's like a filter. It's fine, JP.
Interesting.
You look fawny.
We're going to fix it.
By the way, we got some comments and texts. We're going to read those before the montage.
Let's do.
James Ian Dunn on the YouTube talking about the Roundup says goes right along with this admin protecting the use of glyphosate.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. That's what's in Roundup.
This is a huge fail, Trump administration. Massive fail.
Also, Brad from Crimestone earlier, he sent in his own word of the day.
Of course he did.
Crepuscular.
Crepuscular?
Spell it, please.
Crepuscular. Crepuscular.
Does it have to do with the muscle?
Don't tell us what it means.
Okay.
Crepuscular.
And it doesn't have to do with crepes like you eat with
crepuscular.
Crepuscular.
Muscular, crepuscular.
I don't think y'all are going to get it.
Your muscles are cramping?
Yeah, that's exactly what it means.
Nope.
Or crepuscular. Something about your thinking?
Nope.
Okay, what is it?
What?
Of relating to or resembling Twilight.
Oh, that's what his screen is. It resembles Twilight.
And maybe it's be a teleprompter thing.
Wait. That's kind of...
That's the Twilight filter.
Hold on.
They should have called the Twilight series Crepuscular.
It's like when the sun's going down.
Here, I'm going to stand up and look at what it looks like.
Hold on. I'm looking at the...
PJ, you're not going to be able to see.
Oh, wait. It doesn't look like that there.
Yeah, I think it's just a teleprompter thing.
Maybe it's Pearl and I's eyeballs.
That is weird because
it's our eyeballs. We ain't seeing the way we used to.
Y'all are doing too much Copenhagen.
We are doing too much Copenhagen. I think it's time for a chocolate break. Maybe I'll put the dip down. I'll put the Copenhagen down.
Are y'all saying JP looks a little pallid, peaked, or even wan?
Yeah. Oh, I love those words. Pallid, P-A-L-L-I-D, peaked, and wan.
What is wan? Like
gray?
J-U-A-N?
No,
W-A-N. It's just kind of like sick. Like, you know how you know your kids are sick because they come into your bedroom and they look wan?
Looks like I got the suds.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Peaked?
The suds?
Peaked?
What are the suds?
Have y'all not? It's from SpongeBob. When SpongeBob got the suds, he looked sick.
Like,
wait,
you get this.
I love that.
Are we logged in?
Suds.
Oh, wait. No, we can see. Hold on.
I'm trying to get a JPEG or something I can put up here. Okay, here's one.
Doesn't he have bubbles blowing out of his...
Yeah, so they had to like put corks in all the holes in his body.
I can't wait to see
Yes, you look like you have the suds.
Okay, that's forever my term. Suds. Thanks, guys. You just changed my life.
I don't use
Here's the picture.
Peaked.
Here's the picture when
Peaked.
Patrick came over and
Peaked.
tried to help him and hold on, stuffed him full of corks and all of his body.
Keep the snot from coming out. Okay, that's kind of what you look like in our teleprompter, like just a little gray.
I always get allergies at this time. Last year I got them really bad. I thought I had COVID legitimately, but it's just normal.
Okay, you look better there.
Okay.
I'll look at this.
Yeah, that
one.
is better. Okay.
Okay.
Montage.
All right. It is yes, montage.
And John, there's a really interesting dynamic playing out right this minute that we have not seen since Donald Trump reshaped the Republican Party around his platform several years ago. He is really mad at Congress because they have not passed the Save America Act.
Today, for the first time, the Senate now voting to end the war in Iran. 4 Republicans joining Democrats.
Republicans joining Democrats to say the war must stop now unless the White House seeks congressional approval.
We're $39 trillion in debt. We're giving more money to a department that, to me, is just pushing money out the door, and we don't know where it goes most of the times. It's right now, most of it's probably going to illegals living in this country. It's not going to help the middle class. And if it helped the middle class, I'd be all in. But I think this is a bill that might touch a little bit of the middle classes, but it's going to go to a lot of people that are here illegally to build houses for them. If you want to fix housing, drop the interest rate. That's how you fix housing and make it more affordable.
Do you endorse Graham Plattner in Maine?
Who are you who are asking this question? You gotta do a better job at hanging on to your phone.
So Mamdani, the mayor of New York, is the cleverest person in all of the United States. The main goal was to intentionally crash New York City. So all that billions of dollars of infrastructure will be available for sale, pennies on a dollar. And guess who are the people who are going to come in and buy that? People who paid, people who funded his campaign, the people from Qatar, the Muslim lobby in the United States.
At least we know now how to say Qatar.
Qatar.
Qatar. We're saying it all wrong. Qatar. Okay, thanks. Thanks, buddy. We're going to do our best to wake everybody up. I know we're in Alabama, but we have the interwebs and we can put the word out. But we'll save that conversation because it's a deep one.
I'll just say in the full clip, and we don't have to go into this one right now, but we've talked about the connection between socialism and Islam. And he talked about how Zoran has fooled both the right and the left with it being socialism as the issue, but socialism is really just the entry point to flood with immigration in Islam.
Yep.
Yeah, he says that the right, and it's exactly what we did. We were like, okay, fine. You want to be a socialist city? Good luck. Have at it. It's going to fall. That's exactly what they want. You kind of go, they get what they deserve, but their reasoning as Muslims is so much bigger. And for him to say it makes all the sense in the world, Mamdani comes out, says, we need to welcome the immigrant. The government's going to support the immigrant. We're going to bring in all of my fellow people of faith. They're going to come to New York City. They're going to drive the city into the ground. The Republicans, the conservatives, the capitalists are going to flee because they don't want to live in that. So when the housing market crashes, the whole city comes crashing down. The financial hub of the United States is gone. Who's going to be there to buy up everything and take over the city and take over? I mean, he goes on to talk about how the Muslims have already captured Paris and London as a financial part and hub of the world. This is their plan. It is so well coordinated on their part. Well done. We're years behind you. Hoping we can catch up and kick your butts. But I don't know if it'll happen.
That also, referring back to our K-5 little kid classrooms, is infuriating. And this is infuriating. They did it right in front of our eyes. And we'll go back. I'll pause. I won't. I hope we understand what we're doing.
Do we want to save the housing discussion after Mary Crosby in the 11:30 hour-ish?
We can
have more time to go into it.
Okay.
Is she coming on 11 or 11:10?
11.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we'll go right there.
Maybe want to briefly, before the end of the segment, kind of explain what happened in D.C. yesterday, where Trump apparently chewed out senators behind closed doors about the not passing the Save America Act, but then also for being against the war in Iran and voting for the resolution to restrict the president and what he can do in Iran, while also holding the housing bill hostage. But apparently Bill Cassidy and him got into it too. Cassidy asked him about what's going on in Iran, and Trump apparently barked at him and didn't like what he had to say. So this is the most friction between Trump and a Senate that he's had. I mean, there's obviously been that before with like McConnell and others, but in terms of the amount of Republican senators that are just not going along with Trump is really amazing to me. And I am for the Iran situation, but I think the inaction by Thune and others to pass the Save America Act is ridiculous. And we could talk about the housing bill itself and it being separate and whether that should be held hostage for the Save America Act, but just the flat out refusal to go along with that, which is so crucial and important, especially for the midterms. I don't think we've seen a split like that in the Republican Party in a long time, especially since Trump's been president. So
do you want to talk about it now or what?
I was just kind of laying the groundwork of what happened. We only got about 2 or 3 minutes. So in case people were out of the loop, that's what happened yesterday and what the montage was referring to.
So when this situation happens and Republicans are split and we're here, I can't help but ask myself at this point, would Democrats do the same thing if this were a Democratic president? Because while we have our differences, he is trying to end something. And we're out publicly like all over the place. And while many of us are not for war, like barely at all, I just can't help but wonder, what would the Democrats do in this circumstance? Would they circle the wagons around their president, whoever that might be? God forbid it's Gavin Newsom or some such. Because this is a part where I think we lose the plot, even though we disagree. We don't know how to do it disagreeably, and we don't know how to just rally around and go, you know what, for this minute, we're going to zip the independents and go, all right, if this is what you need us to do, we're going to do it. But we don't.
What are you talking about specifically? Or
just the split in general, just the murmuring in general, the, Bill Cassidy going rogue, but maybe more people feel like he does. And Trump is trying to finish, get this over with.
You're talking about the war?
With the war, with Iran. And then there's several, let me say this. It's several issues. It's the Save America. This issue, we're fractured on that. Then we're fractured on Iran and who knows what else. We're even split in our own state leaders on the Housing Act. And I just keep wondering in each of these circumstances, even though there's very many differences, what the Democrats would do. Because we look like we're shooting off fireworks in all different directions versus we're moving forward in this direction.
See, I agree, but I'm okay with the split. I think there needs to be a split because the housing bill is crap.
Yeah, the housing bill is horrible.
The Save America Act, there's a whole discussion because people want to put it into reconciliation. They want to nuke the filibuster. None of that's going to work. It's great talking points, but it's not going to work. So I think there are some Republicans that are like, yeah, we can do that and we can force your hand, but we're still not getting it across the finish line. What happened yesterday with Tuberville and Britt and Barry Moore actually voted against the housing bill is fascinating. And I hope we can talk about it more because I'm at the point where I'm like, did Trump set everybody up? I mean, the whole flip, the way the whole thing went down is bizarre and seems somewhat purposeful. But you're right. There are so many issues that are coming together in one. It's sad that it has to be aired out so publicly, but I think it's good and necessary. But the Democrats wouldn't do it.
This is a good discussion
they just
to have
follow.
After. No, I'm not telling you. I'm just saying it's a good discussion.
Yeah. Okay, we'll be back. Okay. An activity must conform to Sharia. men only for certain leaderships, hijab required for sisters, aggravated dog walk, proselytizing is a core mission. Assets and disputes locked into the Muslim Brotherhood system, which means they are creating their own here. The Birmingham Islamic Society is creating their own justice system. If there are disputes within, it goes to the North American Islamic Trust, the same Muslim Brotherhood linked entity repeatedly tied to federal courts to controlling mosque properties across America anyway. Internal disputes that can't be settled locally are routed to external Islamic arbitration, explicitly naming the NAIT, the National Brotherhood. This creates a closed Sharia legal loop that bypasses Alabama courts. Sharia wills override Alabama law. So when someone dies, they go to Sharia law rules. Guardians for minor children must be Muslim and raise them as practicing Sunni Muslims. Burial rules are pure Sharia. No autopsy, no embalming, body in soil, and the way they, anyway, it is this whole subculture here in Birmingham, in Alabama, that usurps Alabama law. It is terrifying. This is the same group that tried to move the Islamic Academy into Meadowbrook Office Park here in Shelby County. And this is happening. It says this is exactly the same network that is going on and is tied to what is happening in Texas. And I don't know what else to say except that they are executing perfectly, strategically, everything they are called to as Islamists. This is not special. This is not unique. This isn't a small group. This is all of them. And they are coming for every single city in America. And what they're doing is strategic. Why they're coming into the South is strategic. Why they are coming into big cities in the North is strategic. They will meet and we will all be taken over. And I'm not even being dramatic. You look at what's happening in New York City, where all of Mamdani, did you all hear the story, the speech that Mamdani,
Yeah.
that Biscuit gave?
After the Knicks won the championship? You talking about that one?
No. The one yesterday. I think we need to replay it.
He
basically says everything that we're talking about. They're ushering in Muslim, Islamist law, rule in America, his religion. He talks about his faith and how it will take over, basically.
Which Teddy Roosevelt, JP, when was Teddy president? 1830?
No, or 1930s.
30s, right? 34. I believe this quote is from 1934. Teddy Roosevelt said, wherever Muslims have had complete sway, wherever the Christians have been unable to resist them by the sword, Christianity ultimately disappeared. This is a group of people that we understand, again, starting with the Crusades in about 1094 AD, really up until modern time. But there was a period of time where the Crusades happened. And every time the Christians lost, they were slaughtered. Jerusalem was taken over. Now, before that, a fool got on Tucker Carlson's podcast and talked about that there were 600 years of peace. That is absolutely not true. There was never any peace between the Muslims and the Christians, ever. The Christians were required to pay a tax, and if they didn't pay the tax, they still killed them. But they killed them anyway. This is documented history. Do your homework. Go buy The Sword and the Scimitar or Defenders of the West by Raymond Ibrahim. Go and listen to Allie Beth Stuckey and her podcast with Raymond Ibrahim from last year. Go and listen to the Just Thinking podcast on political Islam. We do not have an excuse. They are not hiding what they're doing. It's out there in the universe on social media. They don't care. They are praying in the middle of cities because they're telling that city We will, if we have not already, conquer you. These are people that believe it is okay to marry 9-year-olds. It is okay in England, rape gangs to the tune of 250,000. Welcome back to The Right Side. Was I wearing the exact same thing in that?
That was just yesterday, by the way.
Same coat, different shirt.
I had red on yesterday.
You didn't have on, you were wearing red and I was wearing navy. Now you're in red and I'm in light blue.
Yeah, so it was from the other day.
Abs and I are both wearing rock t-shirts today.
We are. I should have texted you.
I don't own
I've got
rock
some
t-shirts.
Mine's not a real
something
band, though.
funny coming for you so you can wear it.
Wait, hers says, Freebird.
Freebird.
Yours says,
I don't think mine's a real band.
I don't think yours is a real band
Pegasus
either.
is a real band.
Are they?
It is?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Huh.
I saw it.
So I'm going to get,
I made that up. I don't know.
It probably is. Anyway, I'm Amy Beth Shaver. She's Allison Sinclair. He is JP. We are The Right Side, the show that goes there. And we're going to do that right now with a new to the show, wonderful Alabama teacher who's not afraid to stir things up, Mary Crosby. Mary, welcome to the show.
Good morning.
How are you?
She's so cute. Look at Mary. Oh, it's
Y'all are
nice
too
to
kind.
meet you.
Nice to meet you all, and I appreciate what you guys do.
Well, I hope this will be the first of many times that we talk. We were introduced by a mutual friend in a group that we're going to get more involved with relating to educational freedom. But we would first love to know about you, your story, and why the AEA, the Alabama Education Association, got so upset with you, Mary.
Well, in 2021, I was actually at a conference, and it wasn't even a work day because we were out of the office celebrating July the 4th, but I was in a hotel room, and it was during the time when AEA or NEA, which is the national level of the Education Association. They were having their General Assembly, and it always makes big news because they come out with these big bullets of all this liberal stuff that they're going to be backing. Most of it has nothing to do with education. But this year, in 2021, you've got to remember there was the big buzzwords with CRT and all of those kinds of things. And the more I got to reading about it and what NEA was handing down that summer, I thought, are you kidding me? And I had been a member of AEA for 25 plus years. And I was just in my hotel room on my own time. This was, like at night. I was watching Fox News and they came across with all this. And I made a Facebook post and I said, okay, I didn't even attach the article. I just did a screenshot of the headline. And I just said, okay, I've been a member for 25 plus years, but I don't want another dime of my money supporting this liberal agenda. I'm done, Well, from there, it lit a fire. And I mean, I was worked in our central office. So I had a lot of friends and a lot of educators. And of course, I've been around a long time in the education business. So everybody starts commenting, oh my gosh, Mary, I had no idea. Oh my goodness, how do I get out? Yada, yada, yada. And I went back and I edited my Facebook post and I said, look, I'm not trying to lead a mass exodus, but this is what I understand that you have to do to get out. If you're a member of AEA, you have a certain window that you can opt out, in which that, we can get into that in a few minutes on just how clever they are about all that. But I said, these are the steps. And that is all I did. And I got so many posts and it was shared and people commented and they private messaged me and all this kind of stuff. And that's literally all I did. 2 weeks later, I go to my mailbox in my office and I had a cease and desist letter from the general counsel of AEA saying that I had done this on my work time and that I was using my position as a supervisor to influence others. And that if I didn't, it was very, very threatening. And I was like, what? I was livid. because I was not guilty of what they were accusing me of. And I just saw right then that this is this is something very tender to them. And, they take it very, very seriously.
Tell us real quickly before we move into what happened after that and options people have. Tell us what the AEA does, is why teachers join or feel like they have to join, specifically the AEA. What is the purpose of the National Education Association and its affiliates in the 50 states?
Okay. Years and years ago, it was actually a good thing. It advocates for teachers, class size, teacher raises and all those kind of things. It provides liability insurance for teachers. And this day and time, I wouldn't step foot in front of children. I mean, children are our most precious resource. And a lot of mamas and daddies are just itching to get at you and have a gotcha moment, and they can sue and all this kind of stuff. So if you're in the education business and on a campus anywhere in the country, I highly recommend you have liability coverage. And that's one of the major things that they tell you, oh, you've got to join AEA. You've got to join, and that's why I joined, 25 plus years ago. But over the years, they have changed advocating for teachers. And today they are nothing more than a left-wing mouthpiece of the Democratic Party. And that's what they support more than teachers. And that's on record. You look at the dues that we as educators pay for a union to advocate for us, and they take that money and they put it where they want to. And it's sourcing and finance and so many liberal things that so many, especially Alabamians and, people that conservatives across America, they have no idea. And I had no idea until I dove into what my money was going for. And your money, and some of them will mislead you and say, oh, no, your money stays in Alabama. No, it doesn't. Part of your dues that you pay to Alabama goes to the national level. At some, there's a certain percentage. Every due goes, part of it goes to the national. So, but the thing is, years ago, they were the primary resource to have that coverage, but now since then, we've got options.
So real quickly, are the dues automatically withdrawn from your paycheck, or do you have to sign up every year? How does that work?
You sign up, usually it's a one-time thing. And here's what a lot of educators are finding. A lot of our colleges, see, AEA gets their foot in the door real smoothly. They will go, and say that, young Mary is fixing to graduate and have a teaching degree, and I'm fixing to do my student teaching. Well, AEA will come in and present to that class, look, you need coverage, and we're going to provide you free liability coverage during your student teaching. And then a lot of times it will just carry over and roll over if they get a job somewhere, and they make it really easy. Now, you do have to opt in for it. Okay. Like you can't just automatically be an AEA member. You sign up for it, yes, but they make it so hard to get out. It's almost like a Apple subscription or something on your phone, or a gym membership that you forget about or whatever. But AEA dues, you only have a certain window to opt out. Otherwise, you're stuck with it for another year.
Okay. How do you opt out, and how long is that window?
The opt-out window is like every year when new teachers come on board, or you want to make changes in your insurance coverages or whatever, you do that at the beginning of the year. Like our staff will come back the 1st of August. So we have from August to September 15th to make any changes. Now, that's the way it is in my system, and that's pretty much the way it is across the state. Like if I wanted to add life insurance or whatever through any of our providers, through the cafeteria plant, any of our health stuff, and anything done payroll deducted, is you have until September 15th. And then, like you think about it and say, oh, shoot, and it's September 16th. I was going to drop that. Nope. It's automatically done the rest of the year.
So, do all teachers know that their AEA dues are also in part going to the NEA? Or does
No.
that surprise people?
Yes, absolutely. Because when I was going through my episode, I'll say an episode in 2021, I did several live videos, and I did it from my front yard. I had my cows in the background just so there was no miscommunication on where I was and I wasn't on the job, that kind of thing. And I informed them what their money was going toward. And it was kind of funny because after I got the cease and desist and I started sharing my story on Facebook, mysteriously, somebody that was a delegate to that General Assembly gave me their minutes. And I had all the things that they voted on that year. And it was scary. It was so scary. I mean, it was like, we're going to advocate for the Palestinians, and we want a one world bank. So many things that had nothing to do with education. And so I shared a lot of that on my stories and informed people. And I'm just telling you, our area up here, they took a hit. People were like, I had no idea that my money was going to support that kind of stuff. That does not align with my values and my convictions. I want out. And so I was doing all of this, like in early September, so they had the option to get out. And at that time, our AEA rep in this area, well, she mysteriously went on to greener pastures and moved somewhere else. And they brought in somebody, a big guy to do kind of damage control in this area. But they took a big hit in their membership. And but I had people messaging me from all over the country. They were following my story. I mean, Pennsylvania, Florida, Texas. It was crazy. And people were like, hey, if you need legal stuff, we want to help support you and this kind of stuff. I mean, it was just crazy. It was just, it was just a wild time at that time for me.
So what are the options if you are a teacher and you need insurance? What can teachers do in Alabama to not have to join this communist organization?
There you go. Exactly. Well, there are several ones that are available. There's it's a Christian organization, like the Coalition for Christian Educators, but there's one that that I'm very close with, and it's called ACO, the Alabama Conference of Educators. And the entire amount of your dues for Alabama stays in Alabama. They don't tell you who to vote for. They tell you, hey, what we're doing is we're providing you coverage. That's all they do. It was created by Alabama teachers and Alabama conservative teachers. And I would highly recommend people, and again, I don't want to tell people who to go to, but I would highly recommend, investigating those different organizations and find what aligns with you and your beliefs.
So is there anything what's your encouragement as, you just unexpectedly found yourself in a situation after just telling the truth? It's crazy. But
yes.
What advice would you give to other educators, other people involved in education? What's your encouragement to them moving forward?
Well, as a consumer, you need to know the ingredients of whatever you're buying. Read the label, read the fine print. As a mother, as a grandmother now, I want to know what I'm supplying my grandson with to eat or drink. It's the same in education. If we're purchasing a product, know it. Be informed, know what they stand for, and know where your money goes. I mean, we work too hard as teachers to just throw something at somebody that is going to come back later and contradict what we stand for. But know what's in the label, know the ingredients, be informed, be outspoken, and be active.
That's good.
It's intimidating though. And we've had, through the years that Amy Beth and I have been doing this, we've had teachers reach out. We used to have an anonymous teacher that would send us updates from his classroom or his Actually, I don't even know if it was a guy or girl, but anyway, but teachers are scared to speak out. They seem so intimidated. It's the weirdest thing that if you get them one-on-one, most teachers don't like the way education is going in Alabama. Things like this, they will speak out about the workload in the classroom or the lack of support that they get from administration or whatever it is, but they will not do it publicly to make changes in the system. Do you feel like we're at maybe a turning point where more people will start speaking up as you did and not back down? Or do you think teachers are still kind of intimidated to do that? It takes a lot of courage to do what you did.
Well, I think it really depends on the area that you're in. Now, I'm in a very rural setting in North Alabama, and a lot of conservatives in this area. So that was emboldening to me. Now, if you are in, some of your bigger cities, and it can be intimidating. Even up here, we have some of the officers in AEA that, they can be cruel and they can be scary and threatening almost. So, but I do believe, with everything that we see at the national level, I think we're on the cusp of hopefully turning the point and saying, hey, enough is enough of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And especially if you're somebody that's supposed to represent teachers, education, class sizes and making it better, then why in the world are we pouring money into certain like people running for office? Like that came out, that so much of the AEA money went to support the mayoral candidate in Mobile. Why in the world am I paying that in North Alabama?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy. But there's got to be information out there. But again, do your research and become informed and speak out.
Mary Crosby, thank you for talking to us today. We'll, I know, be talking again soon. And thanks for sharing your story. It's inspiring. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Okay.
She's cute.
What a firecracker. Man.
Well, and
love her.
Yeah. I mean, so you're just 4th of July, you see something on TV, you screenshot it. I mean, how many times you post on Facebook and you're like, hey, I didn't know this. And then you get a letter from attorneys.
Like any lesser woman, but a still magnolia like Mary's going to go, I don't think so.
Yeah. It's crazy. And this is in Alabama. She didn't say anything inflammatory. She didn't say, like you said, she didn't say anything that wasn't true. She just stated some facts. I thought we had the ability to choose where we send our money.
Funny that.
Maybe we don't. All right. We're going to take a break and come back with a long segment. Lots to talk about still. We'll be right back.
Women, and they say that's underreported. Do you think that's not going to happen here? Do you think it's okay for a man to be able to have 4 wives and beat the crap out of her because she disobeyed him? Have you seen them treat their women like dogs and not be able to go to school or speak? Oh, sure. They use the cover of the Muslim school or this Islamic Academy in Homewood and other places around Alabama. Wake up. Wake up. Women have no rights. They are here to take us over. And if we cannot get legislators who will stand up and push back, no churches need to be sold to them. No more land needs to be given. And if they refuse to assimilate, they need to find another place to go. But we have history for thousands of years proving, demonstrating they will and often kill Christians. Their religion is one of domination and subjugation. What are we going to do about it, Alabama? This is not a joke. This is not a test. This is here. Do your homework.
I don't really know what else it will take. JP, I sent you a video if you can cue that up. It's Mom Donnie talking last night after his wins. And the thing is, I sit, and as you're talking, Amy Beth, I think, you want to be mad, and you want to, which you should, because it's antithetical to America, and our country will be destroyed and we will never get it back ever, ever, ever. But the Muslims are just doing what they're told. Mm-hmm. So this really doesn't have to be an emotional. We're not being racist. We're not being religiousist. That's a thing. We are literally telling you what they are called to do in their religion. And any of them that are truthful, which they can lie to you if they want to, will say, yes, that is what we are called to do. That is what Muhammad taught us to do. It is to go into these cities, be kind, be nice, look hospitable, look like you just want whatever, equal treatment. You just want to be a part. You just want to be able to practice. Lie if necessary, and then dominate and subjugate. Every time. It is what they have to do. They know if they came in with swords and spears and guns, they would be taken out. So what they're doing is using their tactic,
Mecca right now,
Mecca, to kind of insert themselves so nicely. Slowly, we're going to take over your city, New York, and we're going to make it look great. We're going to make it look like free food and free housing and free transportation. But as soon as they know they have the numbers, they will switch. You will be subjugated to all their fees and taxes. And if you don't convert, if you aren't taken over, you will be killed. It is coming.
So, they often say, well, look, we, in Israel back in the day, they let the Muslims in. Do you all know that within 11 years, every single Jew was slaughtered? So don't even try to use that with us, because we've done our homework. Everything is in history. There is evidence. So if somebody tries to tell you, yes, but they got along with the Jews. No, they did not. And so remember when Mamdani made that speech and he chose not to appear at that Jewish parade, which is a citizen, it's your right to appear or not. But see, the rest of the story with that speech a month ago about, I'm thinking back about, and I can't remember what city it was in Israel, but it was the exact place where the Muslims slaughtered between 8 and 11 years, all the Jews. See, that was a part of the speech he left out. That's the real reason why he didn't go to the Jewish parade. Wake up. Do your homework, and then be prepared to fight back. This will be the fight of our lives. It will be the fight of our lives. Our first fight as Americans was against the Barbary pirates. That was our first. That's why we fielded a navy, or whatever you call it when you're getting a group of people together to fight. But that's why we have our military, was to fight the Barbary pirates. They were Islamic invaders. This is not going to go away.
JP, I know we are blowing through that break, but can you play this clip real quickly?
Mm-hmm. The freedom from suffering that Buddhism teaches us is only possible if we remove the three poisons of desire, hatred, and ignorance from our daily lives. We need not accept suffering as unchangeable. We need not treat hatred as the natural state. We have the power to set ourselves free. And I consider my own faith, Islam, a religion built upon a narrative of migration. The story of the Hijrah reminds us that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a stranger too, who fled Mecca and was welcomed in Medina. Surah An-Nahl 1642 tells us, as for those who immigrated in the cause of Allah after being persecuted, we will surely bless them with a good home in this world. Or as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu
Hello and welcome back. Oh, sorry. It's okay. I should probably put my very cold cup of coffee on the ground.
Yours is prettier.
All right. So a couple of things. We're going to go through the housing bill, right? We have a list of things we're covering, and we're going to end up with the plunge at the end of our time together today with a discussion, as far as we get, on fatherlessness, the stats, the implications. But we're going to go back to the housing bill and this idea that even our leaders are split on what's going on with it. And the conversation we started in the 10 o'clock hour was basically this: how do we get stuff done? How to be different and still get things done? Because on the Democrat side, right at the last minute, they always come together. And like Allison said, differences are great. They really are. But I feel like too often we're different, and then we end up letting opportunities slip through our fingers because we didn't get exactly what we wanted in whatever bill it was. Now, there's going to be bills we have significant disagreements with, like this housing bill. Well, maybe if you've got straight hair, it'll make your hair curl. Okay. But then there are others that were like, we see that, we agree that didn't need to happen. Others were like, y'all could have gotten that across the finish line. So that's kind of the undergirding of how do we keep our differences and still be effective. But first, can you, Tuberville, go through the housing bill? What are your thoughts?
Well,
what do you want to do?
We really need to go back to the Save America Act.
Okay.
And, there's been a discussion for weeks, months about the Save America Act. President Trump has made it very clear this is a top priority of his. So what happened yesterday on Capitol Hill was, I've never seen anything like it. And it was very, very interesting. If you could follow along, because it was kind of confusing. I'm not sure what's at play, but I think this is a pivotal moment that may be conducive to bringing us together in the end, if we allow it. But the Save America Act is still very much in the discussion. Representative Anna Paulina Luna has set up, the House is fed up. The House is like the Senate, they're losers, they're not doing anything. So the House and Paulina Luna have said, we're not passing anything. I think she has 31 House members now that have said, we're not passing any Senate bills until the Save America Act gets passed in the Senate. So the House representatives have shut down Mike Johnson and the Senate, basically, because you can't pass anything without these 31 Republicans. Well, meanwhile, what's happening in the Senate, you've got the Save America Act discussion. There are two things. Well, over there, they're still talking about taking out the filibuster, which is fine. You can take out the talking filibuster. You can take out the zombie filibuster. You still don't have the votes to pass. You still don't have the votes. You don't have 60 votes to get rid of the filibuster, number one. If you do get rid of the filibuster, you're barely, I would say you have 47 to 49 votes to even pass the Save America Act. Okay. At the same time, there's this housing bill that the House passed last week. This is so bizarre. This housing bill is terrible. It's the more we find out about it, the more terrible it is. Of the Alabama delegation in the House, only Barry Moore voted against it. Okay, remember that. But the rest of it that voted against it were your typical Tim Burchett, Ralph Norman, your conservatives that you're like, they're going to vote for keeping the crap and growing government out. Well, the housing bill then goes to the Senate. And this is what JP was talking about, that Tuberville and Britt split, which they actually do split on bills quite a bit. But this one was interesting because the day before yesterday, Senator Tim Scott, Katie Britt, who was touting how involved she was with this housing bill, pitching it as the greatest thing ever, that they would keep foreign entities from buying up single family home housing and all this. They're coming out the day before the Senate votes on it, talking about how great it is. It goes to a vote. Tuberville votes against it. Katie Britt and a lot of conservatives, I think only 5 Republicans voted against it. The bill passes. So it's passed the House. It's passed the Senate. So then what does it do? It goes to the president's desk to be signed into law. President Trump sets up a whole big thing. They're all in Statuary Hall waiting for the president to show up yesterday. There's a video of Virginia Fox, who's hysterical. I don't know if you know her. She's probably 90. She's awesome. And she shows up in the hall and nobody's there. And she's like, what the heck is going on? She's just looking around because at the very last minute, President Trump, who has been pushing this bill, they were going to use it in the midterms to kind of be their talking point of, look at, we're making housing affordable again, which is actually the opposite of what the bill does. Says, I'm not signing this bill until the Save America Act is passed. Everybody leaves and is like, what the heck? So then you have all these Republicans like Katie Britt and Tim Scott that have publicly said what a great bill it is. Trump puts out, it's Elizabeth Warren Democrat bill. It's a terrible bill. It won't do anything for housing. The only way you can help housing is to reduce interest rates. Basically throwing all of them under the bus. Then he goes over to the Senate, has a meeting with Republicans, and it gets into like a shouting match. Everybody's melting down. Who was the one? Was it
Bill Cassidy?
Bill Cassidy. They're like, "Come at me, brah," and Trump's like, "I'll eat your lunch." I mean, it's this.
Sit down, Bill.
Yeah, it's this whole thing, and now, I mean, it is a mess. It is a mess. But it's bizarre because it's coming out that this is one comment. Basically, we're going to make housing more affordable by paying people to take out mortgages they can't afford and setting up slush funds for Section 8 slumlords and left-wing nonprofits.
Oh, also, it creates a $200 million program to incentivize dense subsidized affordable housing units in our small communities.
$200 million goes to incentivize dense, subsidized, affordable housing. I mean, it is growing government. There's a whole section where the government will come in and pay slumlords their upkeep, their maintenance costs.
Allison, like, honestly, I didn't know about this until yesterday. Then I found these same things that you and I both have. And I was reading and I thought, who is for this? It authorizes a 7-year expansion of the PRICE program, letting HUD, the Housing and Urban Development, and NGOs, national government organizations that are just fake, buy trailer parks and force below market rents.
Yeah.
Like, it does nothing to restrict foreign adversary purchases of American housing stock. And at the very bottom, this will curl your hair. It leaves in place the illegal COVID era eviction moratorium.
So let's just expand our squatters problem in America. It is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen because Republicans were on track, even Trump, supposedly, to use this in the midterms as their big, we're going to save America with, affordability. And then at the last minute, he reversed his course. Now all this is coming out. It's exposed. But you have all these Republicans that have publicly spoken about how great it is. And now President Trump is basically saying he's not going to sign the bill. He's going to veto it. Interesting enough, if y'all remember civics, I had to learn this. After 10 days, if the president doesn't do anything with a bill, it becomes law. It's called a whatever, not a pocket veto, but anyway. But before that happens, the 10 days doesn't start until the speakers or the chamber sends it to, because it was a House bill. So Speaker Mike Johnson would have to send it to the president. He hasn't done that yet. So that clock doesn't start, but I don't know what's going to happen. You have a lot of Republicans really exposed right now, and tensions are building within the party. You've got Anna Paulina Luna, who's shut the House down, who's in conflict with Mike Johnson. You've got Trump in the Senate and these senators that he just primaried out. So they all, like Cassidy and Cornyn, they all have an axe to grind with him, and they're not going to support. President Trump is in a really tough spot. Like, he might have screwed himself up.
Well, it does seem like a bait, like you said. I think he baited them into passing a crappy housing bill so that he could hold something over their head.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Which on one hand,
it's a lot of people that have been really loyal. I mean,
right.
to him. So I don't know why.
I think, I don't know. I mean, I know he's got beef with some, like the Katie Britts and others still probably. But I think his art of the deal, he had to have something to hold over their heads. And I think if it even came at the cost of those Republicans that were on board with it, then so be it. Which I do think the housing bill is crap. I think the best way to fix the housing problem is to deport 10 million illegal aliens and keep corporations from buying up single family homes like that. That's, I think,
and lower the interest rate. It's pretty basic.
Rates. So yeah, I don't think a big housing bill like this needs to be done, but I do think what you said is exactly what happened. He had to have something to say. I'm not doing this unless you do that, and that being the Save America Act. So I 100% think he let them walk into a trap.
Yeah, but he's now said how terrible the bill is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he was ever going to sign that bill,
because he could be like, I never said it was great, and then he could just
and now that it's been exposed, if he's using his art of the deal framework, then what he planned to happen all along is happening. Everybody's looking at the housing bill, and now is looking at these Republicans that aren't going along with the thing he really wants to do, which pass the Save America Act. And he's like, I've been trying, and they're not playing along. So this is what they get.
Yeah, but that's in the Senate. You got to think about all of the House members. I mean, you've got Dale Strong that voted for it, Robert Adderholt that voted for it, Mike Rogers
Save
that voted
America
for
or
it.
housing.
Gary Palmer voted for it.
I still think Trump cares.
I mean, the only one, the Republican that didn't was Barry Moore. So
I would love to know, and we saw Gary this week. Maybe he can come on next week because he said we just need to connect schedules. Maybe we're missing something. But the way that we're reading it, it seems pretty terrible. But maybe they know stuff we don't know. Still, I think Trump art of the deal this whole situation. And I think it was an attempt to get the Save America done. Because the one thing he's been good at, well, sort of, because I haven't seen a whole lot of deportations lately, is immigration. And making sure that actual Americans are on the voter rolls. But then nobody's really talking about what we've talked about with Douglas Frank going to Omaha and dealing with those voting machines. But that's just meddling. So I think in the end, the people in D.C. understand this is a game. And they lost this match. And this is just politics to them. To us, we're like, that was rude. But to them, they're like, nah, it's just another day in D.C.
Yeah, but I mean, y'all think about this. Think about if you're Katie Britt or you're Tim Scott or you're Gary Palmer and Trump has been pushing this. This was their big bipartisan, which to me, anytime I hear bipartisan, I think crap. Because I don't have anything in common with the Democrats. Said. You know, like I mean, unless it's, you know, like save the babies, save whatever. There are certain things we can come together. But when it comes to housing and government spending and strategy and housing, pretty sure there's not much there that we can do with the Democrats that are socialists. So anyway, but you've got Trump who was going to use this, who had this whole thing planned. His table was there. The presidential seal was there. And so you're a Republican. You come out, you're like, we're going to support President Trump. And then he pulls the wool. I mean, that's not building a coalition because now Gary Palmer and Katie Britt are like, you made us look like fools. And they're going to have to answer to their constituency about why they voted for this crap. Mm-hmm. So that you're not building, you're not making friends with that move. Maybe he doesn't.
I don't think he cares, honestly.
It's like buying a car.
You need the votes.
You do need the votes, but they've been exposed. And I think that exposure, even if we're missing something, has caused the people to go, wait, they said yes to this? We don't agree with this. And Trump's like, yeah, I never agreed with it. Here you go. You make your people do something. Yeah. But it also was like buying a car when my husband always whispers, we're going to walk away. Maybe we'll come back next week. You know, we just always walk away. And I think this is essentially buying a car. And the person's like, I got the paperwork ready. I've got the exact price you asked for. And then we're like, thanks. And we leave. And, you know, you set the person selling you the car up. And then suddenly they call 24 hours later and they're like, all right, let's actually do a deal. That could happen.
Well,
but not with the housing. I don't want housing to be a deal. I want them to pass the Save America Act. That's what I really want them to do. And I think that's what we all want them to do.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not there. I think we need to talk to Gary or Barry, somebody, explain it to us. What are we missing with the housing? And do we even have a chance with Save America? Because it is, I agree, a total mess. It's a mess.
I ultimately think Trump knows, and he's right, that he'll still get those votes no matter what. Because because a lot of them probably just supported it because Trump said he supported it. So even though if they're kind of annoyed, like, ugh, I can't believe Trump made me look stupid, maybe step in it. I think he knows if he comes out and says to vote a certain way, like if they were voting for something just because Trump supported it in the first place, they're still going to do that, even if Trump made them step in it. I think he knows he's got those votes. I mean, there may be some like the Katie Britts and others that behind closed doors be very mad about it. And I don't know, Katie Britt still may be a no, but in the House, I think, yeah, he's still got those votes. If those people voted for it just because Trump supported it in the first place.
No, Katie Britt was a yes.
Or yeah, excuse me.
Yeah. She was instrumental in in her Facebook or her X post, she was talking about she was one that she's in charge of like the housing subcommittee. She was instrumental in putting this bill together.
But do you see what I'm saying though? Like especially in the House, I think a lot of those the people that voted for it just because Trump supported it, even though if he made them step in it, they're still going to vote.
I know, I see what you're saying, but you look kind of stupid.
For sure, yeah.
Wow.
It is interesting though because this is the biggest, and I think this is the big. We kind of started it last or 2 segments ago. The conversation of, and we had this conversation so many times. And Amy Beth mentioned it with the Democrats not having this problem, but the lack of true conservatives that are in the Republican Party in DC continues to amaze me because it's almost like we have to have in the Senate, just in particular, like 65 Republicans just to have 50, if that makes sense, because there's so many that are not Republicans. We've got 53 right now, but it's really like we got 45 true Republican conservatives, because you got the squishy ones that are establishment Republicans. But the Save America Act is a great example. What does this say? Scott Beeson used to say in the state legislature that you have to win by like twice as much as you actually have to win.
That's you got a good memory.
So I think Republicans benefit from that.
Scott, wise one, teaching the youngins still.
Well, I think that's probably the case in DC where we won't want to admit it, but maybe a lot of Republicans actually benefit from voter fraud.
Oh, no.
I'm just saying, but
that's JP at.
This is a great example of it though, because there's so many other issues where our Republicans, they just put an R by the name of that's it, aka rhinos. John Kennedy's a great one, for example. There was something recently, John Kennedy was like, what are you doing? You're voting with this on the liberals? Like he was one of 10 that was just completely antithetical to anything conservatives should be voting for. But he's in Louisiana, a former Democrat, kind of like Alabama. So the problem is we continue to see Republicans in the Senate, not real conservative Republicans. And it's a problem that I think is unique to the Republican Party that Democrats don't really have, because even the little splits in the Democratic Party, foundationally, they all are in marching orders of like their disagreements are surface level and petty. Ours are like foundational of like, you claim to be a conservative, but you are exactly what you claim to be fighting against. I think when things like the Save America Act come up, it shows itself. I think that's the major issue.
I have a question for y'all.
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't really want to use names, but we might have to. But
okay,
where is the line of when you're a Republican? And this goes back to what you were talking about, the Democrats stick together, and what we were saying, you put flags in the sand and you stand by your tribe and you don't ever move towards each other. Disagreement is good, but what is the line that you cross when you're not a Republican anymore? Because just in our delegation, just in Alabama, if you take Liberty Score, which was a huge discussion during the election, take a Liberty Score. We have Republicans that are 95, 96%, according to Heritage Foundation, vote conservatively in these key votes. We also have Republicans in the Alabama delegation that vote at 65, 67%. Are they both Republicans?
Good question.
Because
what I guess the question is, what is a Republican?
I think that's it, because you look at Katie Britt, for example. who is fiscally not as conservative as I would like in a lot of ways. I mean, it's no secret that, I'm probably more in line with the Tuberville kind of Barrymore kind of crazy right. But Katie Britt, there are a lot of people in Alabama that love her, that do identify with her. And I still think she's great at a lot of the things she does. So it's not, she might not vote, or, she might not be as strong in some issues and some stances and some policies that I would be, but does that make her not a Republican? And there are several legislators like that have been in DC for a long time. So I think we need to talk about where those lines are, because with Katie Britt, she's not going anywhere because the people of Alabama love her. There is a section of Alabama that are Republicans that love the way she legislates. So what do we do with that? Because we can dig our heels in the sand and say we all need to be like this, but we're not going to get anywhere. And so I look, and when you say, there's so many squishy rhinos, I just am curious what that line is. I don't have it in my head either.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I've got my line.
What is your line?
I'll go the line of like what I determine a Republican to be. If you're against these, then you're not.
Okay.
Christian, strong borders / willing to deport every illegal alien that's here. Second Amendment, pro-life, and fiscally conservative in terms of doing everything you can to decrease the deficit. And then I'll add a cherry. This one is a more nuanced one. We can debate it. Anti-entanglement foreign policy.
I knew you were going to say that.
So that's kind of my five. Those five are my main ones, and the sixth of the foreign policy would be like, we can debate it, but I'd prefer it to be anti, intervention. So that would be my line. And some of those, like the pro-life, Christian, and pro-board, like those five are really the ones like you can't really negotiate on those and still call yourself a Republican. And I think the fiscal policy is one kind of like what you said with Katie Britt, where she isn't as fiscally conservative as we would like. That's kind of why her score is as low as it is on the heritage and the others, because she just kind of votes for every spending package that comes across for the most part. Not all of them, obviously, but those are where she kind of diverts from the heritage and the others. But she's very pro-life and very socially conservative.
Yeah. And in my calculation, she meets 4 of those. And she, I'm sure she has her reasons as to why she could probably defend all of her votes on the fiscal, packages as well. So what about you?
I would agree with those 5. Those would be the 5.
Did I add per Second Amendment in that?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
So that's a very fair representation of what a Republican is. But I also think specifically for Katie, with her being in the 60s as far as her voting score.
And for the record, we have, Robert Adderhole,
yeah,
Mike
there's
Rogers,
a bunch of
all,
them.
so it's not.
Yeah, this is just where they fall. Maybe her theory is we're going to get the money anyway, so I'm going to vote for it because it goes to my state.
So why not? Everybody else is taking
Everybody else is going to get it. We might as well get it. Kind of during COVID, where very conservative people I know were like, we're going to get the money anyway. So let's just make sure it comes to us because somebody else is going to get it. I feel like that's their thinking behind it. I would also throw in that Republican line would be a more conservative view on education. And I don't see that from a lot of them. And Katie Britt is very conservative this way, but very pro school choice, very pro parent. I would kind of throw that in as a number 6. And so we can agree on that. But I think there's varying levels. You're either going to be super conservative down to Republican, and there's a difference. And so we've got very many Republicans, very few conservatives.
So who do we negotiate with? Like, let's take the Save America Act. I'm guessing where we draw the line in that one is if you aren't for voter ID and you can't say that only Americans vote, then you're probably not one of them.
That's a good litmus test.
And I would couple that with the immigration aspect of it, because I actually would disagree with you on Katie Britt in terms of her position, because there was that article about her behind the scenes being very, very, very against the how the deportations were being handled. So
that's a little squish on immigration,
right? It was fun. I mean, she's a mom. She's you know, so I don't.
She's empathetic,
right? But I would couple the fighting or being against voter ID and having safe and secure elections. I would couple that with the immigration problem. But I would also that is one of the biggest show face moments of being not who you say you are, because you would want the cleanest voter rolls and most secure elections possible. But again, like I said, maybe a lot of the Republicans benefit from unsecure elections. But
so how do we move forward? Abs, this is what you were talking about in big picture.
Big picture moving forward, I think we have to kind of go back to your question of what makes a Republican. And I think we look where we can for low-hanging fruit when we're negotiating. I think we have a litmus test like the life issue, immigration reform, and voter ID. Those seem to be very conservative, very touchy issues. But if you're for it, you're for it. We're in the same boat. By the way, I need to throw in there, we didn't talk about this. This is number 7, JP. Pro-marriage. We can be pro-family, but we're pro-man and woman marriage, God-ordained marriage, because that has been the foundation of society since the beginning of time. So I'd throw that in there as well. But I think we have a couple of things, that litmus test we heard when we were going into college, and they always talked about, the people you and I both worked for, the litmus test. That might be it. But then when it comes to negotiations, understanding you're never going to get everything you ask for.
Right.
So what can we come to agreement with? Then we can also go back and defend logically to our constituents. And that's a little bit harder to do. But those are the things that, what can you in good conscience defend? And if you can't defend it, or you have to go to name calling, then maybe we're not going to vote for it. Is that fair?
Yes. And I'll say this too. Katie Britt gets a bad rep, I think, a lot of times. There's certain issues I wish she was stronger on for sure, but we need the Katie Britts in the Republican Party, because we need people that can actually negotiate with the Democrats and without compromising.
Right.
Because there's a lot of Republicans that don't know how to play the game. Katie Britt is one of the best politicians I've ever seen in terms of knowing how to play the game of getting things done. Now, obviously, like I said, there's certain issues I wish she would be a bit stronger on, like immigration, and a bit more fiscally conservative. But we need the Katie Britts, because I think she's done a pretty dang good job of not compromising while negotiating, like what you said.
Because it does go back to that's such a great point. We don't get what we want. We break our crayons and we go back to our room. And Katie's like, nope, we're going to have to work this out. That's such a mom, and that's a gift.
Like a reopen
Susan
the government.
DuBose is like that. People remark about what a great negotiator she is. We do need more of that. But then what else would you add to how we come together so we can actually have forward motion?
I don't know. You've got Anna Paulina Luna and her 31 House members that, are kind of in one corner. You've got the jilted Republican senators that Trump, along with Rand Paul, Thomas Massey, but then, Cornyn and Cassidy, who he primaried out, that are in their corner pouting. And then you've got the Mike Lees, the Tommy Tubervilles, that are standing their ground saying, we're standing up for a lot of the really, truly conservative things against the grain. And then you've got the rest of the Republicans. Then you've got Donald Trump. And he is the one that I feel like anytime you drop him into a room, it is unpredictable and it is chaotic. And some of that's by design. Some of that is he's got to chill out just a little bit. And I almost think it's like when Connor and Jennings used to get in fights, they'd be like, well, he did this and she did this and it's it. And I would say, y'all go sit on the floor in the living room and do not get up and come to me until you have one story of what happened. And it would be hours.
That's good. Emmy, are you listening?
It would be hours. Go work it out. And I feel like almost like we need them in a room. What that does, though, and I'm not sure, there are a few of these factions, President Trump being one, I'm not sure he's willing to compromise and give, but we have to do that on our side.
Yep.
We have to do that on our side because the other side is so bad. And it doesn't mean, I used to not say that. I used to think everybody needed to think and do what I said, believed. And that's just not the case. I would like it, but that's not practical. So we need to, if we're going to save America, because President Trump, if you're watching,
and there's a chance you are.
First of all, hello, Mr. President.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. But if you're watching, if we lose the midterms, you will be impeached and you will be removed from office. So let's work this out because we look like a bunch of lunatics right now, a bunch of middle school mean girls in the corner of the cafeteria.
I will add this caveat though. By the way,
yes, sir.
We want to end at like 12:05 so we can get to your plunge.
We'll do that tomorrow.
You sure?
Yeah. Let's just, it's going to be nice. I've already got the stat sheets printed out for Allison
She
and
does.
me. Let's just do that tomorrow. It'll be a really good 11 o'clock discussion because this was an important one and we haven't had it. This is good.
Well, I was going to add the caveat. I agree with you. There are certain hills to die on the Republican Party. And I guess this is one of Trump's, the voter ID. And so within reason, but yeah, there are certain hills you need to die on. And I'll add another part. And Abs and I talked about this when we were talking about Tucker Carlson, because we had this similar discussion about where Tucker said he's leaving the GOP. And we had a discussion of where the line is when you're just like, now, that doesn't mean you're going to the Democrat side, but like, I'm not supporting Republicans and they need to reform what they're doing before I can be on board and where that line is. I think a lot of these rhinos and squishy Republicans, they have to lose. Like they have to face, because as long as they keep winning, they're not going to change. They have to lose their seat for them to finally change. And you can take with that what you will of who you're going to vote for and where that line is for you. But the only way to get reform in your own party is that the ones who aren't on board, they just lose. And you know what? If that comes to where the midterms, the Democrats kind of have to slow down the administration. And then in 2028, then we get a more radical in terms of strong Republican base and maybe a president, then, so be it. But that is the only way. I agree with everything you're saying, but also I would add the caveat of they have to face the consequences of not being who they say they are.
It's a good word. And honestly, and ultimately in all of it, we know this, y'all know this. Whoever up there is a believer, and I have no idea at this point. I know there are several, but somebody with the Spirit of Christ is going to have to go and help this get figured out because we're in a mess and we're going to hate each other and fight and envy and be jealous of and take each other's turf instead of doing what's right. So for the people who don't care and just want what's right to be possible, they're going to have to be the ones to take the lead to work some of these things out. Because honestly, apart from him, how are we going to do any of this? I don't know how.
Yeah.
I really don't. So.
But I agree with you, Allison. I haven't seen like what happened in Capitol Hill yesterday in terms of the Republican side since Trump's been in office in a long time.
That was an explosion.
Yeah.
That was the shot heard around the world.
They were at least were a little bit more subtle with their disagreements. But yesterday was a full-fledged. Yeah.
It was a family fight.
And I don't want you to, I was thinking about what you said, like they have to lose. I wouldn't even consider them Republicans anyway. So, of course. But I'm not saying President Trump compromise. I do think the Save America Act is something because if you don't get that done, you really, we're done. We're done. But you can't go in as President Trump and start throwing punches and yelling names and embarrassing people and whatever it is. You just can't do that. You got to be a leader. You got to put your big boy pants on and not pitch a fit and go do your art of the deal, which you are so good at. But don't make more enemies as you're trying to build a coalition, especially inside your own ranks.
And don't forget what you said at the very beginning of the conversation. I think it was the salon.com article. Maybe it was in Fox News Sunday somewhere. The Democrats, especially the progressives, are telling us exactly what they're going to do when they get back in power. This is like the same as the Muslims who are in power. They're telling us exactly what they're going to do. We need to take that admonition seriously.
Yeah.
Would you rather win $1 million tomorrow or $10 million 10 years from now?
$1 million now and $10 million 10 years from now may basically be the same thing.
I was about to say, it could be pretty equal.
Yeah, I'm taking the $1 million because you might be dead in 10 years and not be able to enjoy it. And I think you could invest it and probably make more.
1 million now.
Yeah.
Because who knows?
I'm with you.
1 million now.
We're going shopping.
Yeah, we are.
Get in, losers.
Do you know how many politicians we could buy off tomorrow with $1 million?
Like half of one.
A lot.
Yeah, we can get half.
Well, that was a really good discussion. We covered a lot. Tomorrow we have the Bussy brief.
Yes, we do.
Maybe. And we have the plunge into fatherlessness and lots more shenanigans. We'll see y'all then.